つも君
Aw, are you tired, Hoodle?
You sure he's not just...
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
We finally... Made it.
Yes!
How's this?
Very nice. Yes!
so different.
We should probably move on.
What's my sword made of? What material would it make sense with? Claws? Fangs?
In one ear and out the other.
All we have to do is get rid of that thing.
Hi, Hoodle!
You picked the wrong station! Consider with your flames and my technique.
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Did anybody see that?
That looks like the Zoogle we were told about.
Choice.
I can seal you where you stand. All yours, Kisara.
Never flaming.
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
find it.
Okay.
Okay. Yes! Really?
Dohalim, I'm going to look into some seasonal fishing spots.
By all means.
Leave the preparations to me as well. I'll bring the rods. Would you prefer your fish served grilled or raw?
I'll trust your judgment, Kisara.
Okay.
Hey!
Oh!
Great!
Oh!
Oh. Ow.
The fish could be dwindling even as we speak.
Time is of the essence. Let's hurry.
I think you're making a mountain out of a molehill.
We've reached our destination.
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
I sense a poor soul who is in dire need.
Sounds like our cue to step in and help.
Yeah.
Sure. How did it come to this?
You're a beautiful woman, Shion. That's a good thing, right?
Wait, Kisara. Hey, Kisara! How did it come to this?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Poodle, shake off that. Ah. Aw.
Good grief. Remind me again why we're all getting soaking wet just to find some fishing hole?
Some things are better left unquestioned.
But,
What?
Something wrong?
no, not... Gee, I wonder where that fishing hole could be.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Eternal devastation! Crush!
These things really get on my nerves.
You're finished!
You know!
We got flyers!
I've got this!
Eternal
Let Master
devastation!
handle it!
All yours! Begin! Here I come! Crush!
Healing breath! Glacial
Ignite!
the marksman!
Do it! Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We're a pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say? I had a good partner.
This cavern is surprisingly big. Not to mention nice and cool, too.
The way the light from the glowing stones reflects in the water, it almost feels like a dream.
What, this damp and slimy place? Are we looking at the same thing?
Brace yourself! This one's tough! We could do without it!
Heal you all!
Eternal that fucking is driving me!
You're like... Not in your...
Imbue
Radiant light! Here you go! Here! The water's mad ammo! Arts require complete focus! Here's a healing art! Blah, blah, blah! Magic!
The enemy.
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Benediction light.
Let them learn it!
I've taken too much damage!
Will this help? Here goes!
Where are you going? Far enough!
Now you see what I can do!
Art
Take
expert,
this!
coming through! Here's a healing art! Not in your dream! Hit! Birthday! Purge malevolence! Here's the evil!
Even know the word. Regenerating if you ask.
You need to...
You're mine! It's over!
Here, let me help!
Eternal devastation!
Shattering our pieces! Attack time! Negative
I can handle it! Back into the fray!
Swordline out!
Get on you
Try
there!
this! Can't move!
I couldn't make it in time.
Far enough! I'll smash you!
Too much to handle! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy
I am not beyond fury.
Art field! Megablade! Annihilation! Wait, don't mind if I do!
Behold! The earth pulse!
Astral energy!
From beyond.
Here's a healer! I can feel my precision improving.
We should be able to cook here. Do you understand what—
What?
Finn, with all these names in my stomach. She can't. So we've got to. Let some dumb fish it stick.
I'm pretty sure.
Hell yeah! There's no way you can complain about how this tastes!
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? What's wrong? You're looking pretty down. Your mind?
That. Well, away at long time. Do you mind if I...
Of course not. Listen,
My mom and dad used to tell around. I did, behind their backs. And when I did, Almadria showed up.
Huh?
I hated Almadria for destroying everything I loved. But what I hated most was myself. For breaking my promise to my parents. Even though I swore I'd get revenge, there was always this nagging part of me that wondered if I even had any right to do so.
Rinwell, it was Almadria who killed your family. Don't torment yourself over one mistake.
How can you say that when my mother and father died because of me?
This may not comfort you much, but I'll say it anyway. I have a feeling your parents always something like that might happen.
What do you mean?
Always a Chende. Someone was going to find you and your family. But even knowing the risks, they still taught you magic. And there are two reasons I can think of for that. First, your talent. Second, they were hedging their bets.
Huh? On what?
You, Rinwell. How you turn out when you grew up. Sure, learning magic may invite danger, but it would have been even more dangerous to live in hiding without being able to defend yourself. They knew what they were getting themselves into when they taught you magic. And I think they did it because of how much they loved you.
Because my mother and father loved me.
Sorry, I know I shouldn't be putting words into your parents' mouths.
No, it's okay. I used to think I would have been better off if I never knew how to use magic. And if I'm really honest with myself, sometimes I still think that. But after traveling around with all of you guys, I've learned that there are things I can do with magic. That there's a point to it after all. So I'm going to keep trying. I'm gonna try and accept it as part of who I am. I want to use it to protect my friends. The future. Do selfish of me?
Not in any other way with you, Rin.
Night, everyone. You? I was able to rest deep.
Did we really just spend that much money?
That thing looks like trouble.
Quite. I doubt we'd fare well against it.
So this...
He's the one back for all those fish! Getting blobs is... I'll take out as many as...
You picked the wrong fight! You're mine! Eternal devastation! Dazzle!
Is this it? Forgive me. This is my fault.
Here goes Mega Ray! Take this! Freeze Lancer! That'll bring you down! Oh, violent guardian wind!
Leave the chargers to
I'll bring you back from
Denied.
Death's Abyss! What?
I'll smash you!
Resuscitation! Not in your dreams! Will this help?
No,
Go get them! Healing circle!
Wait!
Magic tire!
Punishment?
From Death's Abyss! I'll bring you back from Death's Abyss!
Take this!
Resuscitation!
I can carve through all!
I was thinking!
No rest for the wicked.
Resonate with the earth!
Can't be happening!
I couldn't make it in time. From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love. Resuscitation!
I still got
Our
the
art is
violence.
being interrupted.
Purge malevolence! Close one! Here goes! The close one! Oh, violent darting wind! Carve now! Crossblade! Oh, violent darting...
Take care of Poodle.
It's a
I think now.
You guys want to rest here? Looks like we made it, East.
Wow! Thank you. Great!
Yeah.
Wow.
I wish I could get an examination.
Well, if you say so. Let me see, yes, you're in well, all right?
If only your brain could keep up with your mouth.
I wonder if something happened. Wait. What?
What?
Yes! Yes!
Nice.
Yes! Great!
What?
Yes!
Great! Whew.
Hey,
No way!
oh?
Mate!
Yeah!
What?
Very nice.
Alpin! She owns stuffing bread with marble curry!
Now I can eat this every day.
Jeez, Jim, you're hooked on that stuff.
Weapon of truth.
This lady pulled together once we're up.
Loves us!
Speaking of one, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have 2 goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorn. All right.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the difference. The Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too.
How do we reach?
We should take a measures with the families on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations for Dana. Right with the controls?
Set to autopilot. I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. Me, trying to trigger my change the form they took. They sing test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try. The look of them touched my skin. Howling from like I was a something. Blight on any I touched, helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Crazy?
That's exactly my point. Why should give up your life just because you drew short strikes? Right. It justifies. As if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never saving only our own life. If we're doing this to protect people, doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Xion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, a total mess. Ori lay died here.
Oh, straight after us. That mean you were for 300 years?
Yeah, see, I know. But don't even add I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely all right. Still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danons. If it's that. And they brought me along with you, Alphen. I'll forever be to you.
Well, we're in this forest just. You should probably save your thanks. We've dealt with the Red Woman.
We find when we get down there, I'm through looking away.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Listen to this! So Law and I were just talking.
What's got
He's a freak, the biggie. And after all that fuss he made about Nick.
Hey, I never dared. I just think it's, a little unsettling how we're cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you with Lenegis, a traumatic one, no less. This triple emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship. You'll be making preparations to land.
Before that, what exactly should we get down there?
Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there. They gave me the grand tour.
Well, first was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Even the lowest Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
The warning. Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about...
You've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, I'd have been sitting... But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Law's blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alphamus is
being used to exploit Dana? We need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a answer. Just
We're about to reveal, so brace yourself.
Clues about your thorns out there? We'll find them. There's no one here. I wasn't expecting. Welcome, Matt.
Besides, people won't be becoming traffic while the away.
Where?
But I doubt our went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
so now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. Changing would have been
That sword.
that he the being ceremony preparations are under it to be held, then possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right, it's in leads. Let's try to track down the... Beyond that wall lies a city of Renin. The capital museum on the other side.
Thinking here is giving me the...
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Being rented for a lot of things. This is a bit I anticipated.
The foundations of
And Lenegis changed shape. It had an effect on the interior, too.
Zadana?
Would live.
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without this. Getting what's happening so far.
Any idea where we might find it?
Forbidden.
Trust, the less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what changed topography? Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll find the way ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Do?
Lock.
If what Avakir, it was people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless going on up here world. The fact that it's actually that the wedge
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
while we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihood and homes in the process. It's just uprooting an entire city in blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of
From how it looks, they must be siphoning energy from Dana.
But do what for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest. Contender I was idle. Deaths of so many.
Sorry, but for a woman, have you seen anyone of that description?
That, eh? No, I can't remember. She'd out somewhat.
What about Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people? Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to trick this. But if they knew people were going to take into consideration to avoid all...
Ordinarily, yes. You know, as far as we home, none knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
sorry. That probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Xion. I'm sure we will.
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping that you would...
I daren't stay here, though. I'll home before I outstay. Welcome. And to avoid, have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly...
In life is we are both Renan, almost.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Of him? Anna.
Do not deceive in the same. Return to fulfill a special of which...
As your first beyond it, plans are scrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zeugle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in trouble.
Everything... It's the way they believe. Nothing happened to them.
The salt there is ruling over Lenegis.
Of course. He rules from Rena while presiding and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena Elphys. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no. Can no citizen of Lennifer... Oh, what are you assuming what I believe? It's no one on Lennifer laid eyes on... No one but the...
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lennigus single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lennigus from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lennigus. Thereafter, individual is known as the Sovereign. It would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. For how vote all this? At this point, I no longer know what to...
3 centuries here on Lennigus. This became, I was 4. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma, the same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
And yet more that it seems until we establish
The Forbidden Zone really is limits to everyone but me to start, too.
Then it's decided. Where we need to...
Since mentioned to pass another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it!
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such...
I will see Lennigus now. Balsif, Gata, and Volron. Aside from Dohalim, we about
Yeah, why would we? Danans, they were just enemies overthrown.
in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives. It gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the local... Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lennigus. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Yes!
Balzev had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Ow. Ow.
I tended to spread it to guessing the
She couldn't.
Like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
What? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also nervous.
Cared about until the very end.
So, tenants.
I didn't realize it.
And yet he seemed to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
Things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, The quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Tell me, Dope, has that skill got a name?
Pray tell.
Become putty and
I don't quite follow.
Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. The weird poses. Something they ate?
If you're willing to take the blame for one.
I will be serious. I'll go word with them.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Okay.
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath Harrows changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
Of all of Redik.
It's the same hated my Gana because we're to Rena.
Guess that.
Al, have you gained this?
Yeah, I think it's words will too. And the others deal with. As they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something.
And Dohalik a good case for it.
And to keep doing my sure I earn the rest else.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfrikt Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfrikt whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
Coming sovereign Lenegis?
I guess so, but goes for the came before him.
Mention it. I don't recall anyone ever get.
And they're struck odd?
You're conditioned not to notice all quirks. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Corps existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move. Arya, isn't that the...
Tell me you've given up on the crown. I called Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek... Wait, my legion. Finish... Do whatever...
That's it. Run away like all don't need to... die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts.
But you can take in a friend's life, throne.
Made last say no.
You said that
It's more life than anyone. Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Nice, beautiful.
Must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. And by her play, her over and introduced her to great fortune. Only the next song, the next melody.
On mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. But to wrest her from her humble, the high echelons of fate, Tarnagan was not field. But he could not have defeated.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. For what
Hadn't been, wouldn't be what it is now. There would still be like...
Sounds right. Would have me as you did. Anyone else and I would have long. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
It's just doing someone for something, and he knows she is.
I hope you're right. Alpha appreciated just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
You can never be too prepared, but... Did we have to spend so much? This looks perfect. Guaranteed to hit the spot.
Soldiers.
That all depends. Whatever, be ready.
So much for them, but...
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one. Here I come! Eternal devastation! Down! Out of the way! Everlasting storm! Negative death! You're mine! They smite with lightning rage! You're mine! Execution! It's over! Take this! Astral arts?
That's my cue!
Not today! Shut him down! Take this! Eternal devastation!
In a bind?
Glacier Spear!
Shine! Radiant light! Benediction!
You're mine!
Take
You're finished!
into the
Take this! Consider yourself finished! My turn! Crush! Be still! You're finished! Right now! I owe you one!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth!
No further! Yearn to be let free! Burn in hell! We're not finished! Take this, Rupture! Crush! Engulf you! Dragon Ball!
Do it!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Sighted!
No!
Just seems to come.
Yeah, they weren't talkers, that's for sure. Burning.
They gleams.
And seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. Traditionally, hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Don't get careless!
Need the strength to march on.
Don't tell me!
Lion
Not
Heart!
on my watch! I can handle it! Reload!
There!
Far enough!
Your reflexes will try this! Sword Rain out! I'm not done! Lightning Thrust! Rising Phoenix! Sword Rain Alpha! Try this! Lightning Flash! Take this!
Flawless flight!
Ignite! We did it!
Where are you going? Celestial!
Radiant Light! Force of regeneration! Eternal
Lunar
Devil!
corruption! Now! Astral energy!
Say no more! My
Force
turn!
field! Searing
Eternal
devastation!
devastation!
Don't
suffer inside this! You're mine! You're finished!
Arctic waterfall! Field!
You're mine!
Lord Field! Here's evil!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Razor blade!
Blending Flash! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Eternal devastation! Today! Make good! Dazzle!
Annihilate!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
I think I'll
Just
pass
as
on
well,
the hit.
I'm here to stop.
Eternal devastation! I can carve through armor! I owe you one!
I can handle it.
Lightning Thrust! Rising Phoenix! Take this! Elusive! You're finished! Everlasting shot!
Denied!
Soaring blast!
Take this!
Is it in the sky?
Eternal devastation!
This one's mine! In a bind?
Take this! Crush!
Radiant
Be still!
No dawn shall break this
I'll
night!
heal you all! Holy
Rising Phoenix! This one's all mine! Here!
They still
Megasonic
Sorry to trouble you.
Strike! Try this! I owe you one.
Radiant light! Force of regeneration!
This is looking good! You're finished! Try this!
Field! Annihilation!
Begin!
I'll be saving this one!
Denied! I'll smash you!
Take the down to the wind! Dirt! In here!
Is this it?
Don't give up! That'll bring you down! Thanks! Just what I
I'll
need!
face you!
I'll bring you back from death a bit! Here
Resonate
goes!
with the
I'll
earth!
bring you back from death a bit! One last one! Forward up! Everyone, get back! It's too dangerous!
It's in your hands now.
Magic is in! Freeze, Lancer! The level is free! Death a bit, sir! Sir, get free!
Take this!
Bloody denied! Armor won't save you!
Back into the fray!
Shine! Radiant light!
No!
Force of
Can't end here!
Forgive me. This is my fault.
Just what I need!
blood!
Rending
you a bloody howling!
Fred! Hard for the leveling! Magic is in! We
Coming
will
out, don't
take
you?
care of
Rending you apart! Bloody howling!
Dazzle!
Where are you going?
Elusive deity!
Rising Falcon!
From beyond!
Here's a healing arm!
Severing wind!
Soul with
First
light!
aid!
Searing gale!
Resuscitation!
You're mine!
Hear my call!
Elusive deity! Tornado drive! Being interrupted!
Here's a healing arm!
Glacial fire! This one's mine! Whirlwind ammo! Glacial fire! Look out!
Holy healing!
I'm
not
sure how we get out of this one.
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Water, hear my call!
This one's mine!
Lightning condensed!
Glacial fire! Swallow dip! Knocked to pieces!
Everyone, get back! It's too dangerous!
Glacial
Here
fire!
goes! Annihilation! Go get him! Get
Just
him now!
now! Law! I'll stop your movement! And I'll stop your life!
Fighting in this state isn't advisable.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
This looks so good. Bad feeling about this.
Take this!
Reload!
Thanks!
Not in your dreams! I never miss! It's go time! These ones can run rings around
Get a
us!
bite to eat instead.
True gunslinger! I'll be saving this one! We naturally!
I'm ready! Sim can't get out of this!
Photon dance in the wind! Healing circle!
Denied! Armor won't save you!
It's
almost too strong! Let it open! Be my guest! Explosive ring! Here I come! You're finished! Eternal devastation! This one's all mine! Not today! You're mine!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! My turn!
Got this one's mine! Air thrust!
I need her.
Lionheart!
They really
Annihilation!
Ah! Here I come!
Raging storm!
Eternal devastation!
need to pull.
Elusive deity! Devastation!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
You picked the wrong fight! Resonate with the
It's weakened!
I can carve through this ends now! I'm ready!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Now! Eternal devastation! Sword Rain Alpha! Rending Flash! Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite! Thrust!
Shining Supernova!
Rising Phoenix!
Raging Cascade! Primed and ready! Here!
Take this!
This one's mine!
Eternal devastation! Ignite! No escape! Eternal devastation! No escape!
This one's...
I can feel my growing!
Don't on sight.
Someone make
This won't be easy.
Take this!
Don't be such a pessimist!
Lionheart! Rising Phoenix! It's over!
Take this!
As if a normal creepy crawlies aren't gonna
Ready to go! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Be still!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth!
Rising Phoenix!
Lightning!
Take this!
Steering flame! Reload!
Take this!
Steering flame! Reload! Damn it! Lightning attack! Spray!
Megasonic Shock!
Illuminate the
I'll
dark!
face you!
Come forth! Holy glimmer!
Explosive ring!
Holy land!
Deity!
Not today!
Negative gate!
Sword Lane Alpha! Try this!
Lightning condemns! Here's
Blending
flame of
Flash!
fury! Burning strike! Glacial spear! Here's an evil!
Try harder!
Holy land!
Thanks! Try harder!
Here's a
No dawn shall break this night!
deny!
Crescent strike!
Burning strike!
I couldn't make it.
Enough ammo!
Now you see what I can do! In view. More of this electric.
I'll take it from here. How you handle
Mega Try this!
Reflect on thy sins. They smite with blazing blade. Elusive deity.
Where are you going?
Dating fire can't get out of this.
It's on!
Not on my watch!
Burn!
Back
Take
into the
this!
fray! Mega ray!
Crush!
We have
It's over! Be
Lightning
still!
condemns! Thunder blast! Illuminate the dark!
Deny!
Forward! Holy quiver!
I can carve through armor.
Annihilation! Mega ray!
This is.
Come on! More!
You have to hold on.
Hero!
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite. I'm ready.
Gata! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble. Weapon.
You're mine!
Leave the agile ones to me.
Eternal devastation!
Holy quiver! Holy
It's over! Dazzle!
Burning
Rising Phoenix!
Now or never.
glacial spear!
No further.
Take this! Crush! Eternal devastation!
Take this.
Catapult! Into the shadows!
Crush! It's on! Severing Wind! Lunar Bongo!
Dance under.
Sword Lane Alpha! Eternal devastation!
Do it!
Crush!
More where that came from!
Eternal
Not on my
devastation!
watch!
Ignite! Not a chance! I'm not...
Radiant!
That's it.
Glacial punch!
Time to shine. Piercing roar.
I'm on it!
Going in.
Stalagmite! Lunar blast!
This one
I'm all
mine.
stuffed up!
Glacial punch.
Elusive
Time to
deity.
shine. Piercing roar.
I don't even know the word defeat.
Thunder
Here!
Dragon shell.
Negative
Maximum
gate.
burn! Ready! By the power of water!
This one
Can't be happening.
Come on. You have to hold on.
First strike.
Going in.
Super swallow dance.
Not on my watch!
Snap. Crush to pieces. Nothing gets
First strike.
Deny.
Evil!
Inferno. Sit.
Freeze! Sky is mine! I'm only getting started!
Inferno crossing.
Mega ray! This one's mine!
Resonate with the
Annihilation!
earth.
Mega
I
ray!
let my guard down.
I couldn't make it in time.
Dreams.
Bloody howling.
Here goes!
Elusive deity.
Here's another!
Wildfire.
Oh, violent darting wind! Oh,
Everything in armor is all mine!
Take that!
Double demon blade!
One last time! Sorry.
You'll pay for that! You're mine! It's over!
Not my finest.
You're mine! Gata!
I'll grind you into
Rising Falcon!
elusive deity.
You're mine!
Rotating cloud driver.
Mirage!
Behold! The Earth's hope! Tectonic vision! My exploits are bearing fruit.
This one.
Is it too late to talk over our
Fights are better
differences?
left unfought.
This one will be difficult to predict.
I see one, eh?
Rotating cloud driver.
Take down their
Some fights
defenses!
are better left unfought.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was sovereigns only.
Alvin.
It opened!
Interesting. Still opens. Seems to go the same.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Taken land.
It's worth is over. I swear it's alone.
What's your name?
It's Ari. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. Yeah, taking you at your word, trusting you. Sorry.
What the hell just...
Did I see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
I don't think so.
What?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the astral energy Rura...
Not for the first time. It was the same sensation as...
That would... and all vast amounts of Dana energy appear to land. Perhaps we're close to the spot where all the stored.
So you think it energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to... It's not all. We've been fighting to... Seems though I'd have it just bad. To liberate them too, and just another from the truth.
You're somewhere else. Always seem... passion. Free and protect... Hired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Wait,
There...
Right. She encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous! She never had that kind of power when...
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Thalia to control eagles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master sword?
Where did she get her hands on?
We handle the suit, command. Aim for the weak. Megasonic thrust! I can do without it. Pain.
Forgive me. This is my fault. Now I'm being interrupted.
Megasonic thrust! everlasting ghost here! Explosive ring! Now escape! Try harder! No further!
Will this help?
I'll smash you! This one's all mine! Let me free you of your power!
Thanks so much! Oh, violent starting wind! Carve now! Glacial spear! Here's the evil!
Burn! Begin! Elusive Dreamline!
Freeze Lancer!
Unrotating Pile Driver!
Freeze
Denied! Take this!
Nail Ray!
Try here! Infernal Torrent!
Soaring blood!
You're finished!
It's in the... Blast from death to life!
Devastation in armor! Smash you!
Knock it into next week! Here's the evil!
Sword Rain out!
Freeze Lancer! Let astral energy!
Rending Flash!
Here's a healing art!
I'm not done! Thanks!
Radiant Storm! I'll fix you up!
Leave the charges to me! Shine! Radiant light! I'm on it! Far enough!
Breathe astral energy! Again to the wind! Here goes! More for the sunshine!
Do it now!
Soaring Charge, Malenia! I'm ready! Arctic waterfall! Sleep now! I'll be saving
No further!
never miss!
Dazzle! Rising Rocket! Imbued in vanquish! Here I come! Crush! Watch this! Eternal devastation!
Eagle Fire!
Of regeneration! Here I come! You'll pay for that!
Far enough!
Crush! Dazzle! Rising Rocket!
Feel!
Imbued in
Care.
vanquished soul with life! No more of this and I'll burn out! Strike! Eternal devastation! Dragon Shell! Can't get out of this! Here I come! The flame inside me! No dawn to be let free! In an instant! Impact Crush! You're mine! Just getting started! Crush! Begin! Dazzle! Begin! Resonate!
A new... Lease on life. Here I go.
Guardian
I'm only
Field!
getting started.
All right, let me at it!
Inferno crossing. Here I go. It's over. Take it. You're mine. There. Lightning. This can't be happening.
Then we get... Thanks, aim for the weak spot!
This one's mine.
Crush!
Can you take That'll bring you down.
Tempest!
Confiscated.
Eternal devastation! Seismic rush!
Let me help.
The Tempest engulfs you!
Charge like that.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Far enough. Energy. Energy cascade.
Not today! The Tempest engulfs you! You're mine!
Corruption.
You're finished!
Lunar blast.
On your head!
Lightning orb. More
Sword Rain Alpha!
Searing flame. Revive. Charge,
Eternal
Malenia.
devastation!
Sleep power of water. I'll be saving Radiant.
Here I come! Take this!
Photon
It's over!
blast. More
Eternal devastation!
Here.
Try harder! My turn! Strike! Radiant right! Strike!
Here's an explosion.
Resonate with the eye!
This one's mine.
Mine!
Last More for the stop!
Now you see what I can do!
Oh, God, hear my call! Card now through all!
It's over!
Crossblade! I can do this all day!
Here I come! Demon
Freeze laser!
It's over!
Illuminate
In a vine?
I'll
You're
heal you
mine!
all! Holy land!
Eternal devastation! This one's all mine! Not today!
Healing circle!
You're mine! Eternal
Sorry,
devastation! It's over!
Radiant
Take
from
this!
here! Lightning orb! Soul Bond ready! Gemini left!
Eat this! Here I come!
Mega ray! Annihilate!
Demon, you're mine!
Violent guardian
You're
ray!
finished!
Burn out through
Here
all!
I come! Crush!
Here's a healing illuminate the dark day! Holy glitter!
Demon, you're finished! Eternal devastation!
Death from the wind!
Take this!
It's over!
Crush!
Bloody
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Dance in the wind! Field!
Now you see what I can do! This one's all mine!
Burning strike!
Crush! You picked the wrong fight!
Not as I watch!
You're mine!
Light act! It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
I'll be saving this one! Here's a healing arm!
You'll pay for this! It's over!
I'll bring
You're
you back
mine!
to the abyss!
It's over!
Reveal! I will use the stockpile! Healing soul! Lightning orb!
Save you! Move it! Get it!
Light astral energy!
You're mine! It's over!
Waterfall! Healing circle! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Light astral illuminate the dark!
Ignite!
Can't get out of this!
Here I come!
Holy land!
You're mine!
Radiant light! Force of
Eternal
regeneration!
devastation!
Regenerate!
Take this!
Being interrupted!
I'm all filled up! Annihilation! Burning! Not on my
Radiant
watch!
light! Deny regeneration!
Here I come!
Shattering the...
Freeze laser! Attack time! Lightning
It's over! Eternal devastation!
Illuminate the dark!
Armor won't save you! To your hands now.
For my friend!
Healing! I'll bring you back to base!
You're mine!
Dance in the wind! Mega ray! Field!
Can you take it?
I'll be saving this one! Radiant here!
Out of the way.
Here I come!
Chinese supernova!
Here's what I can do without this pain.
Here I come!
Everyone, get back! It's too dangerous!
finished!
Lunar corruption! By the power of water!
Here, let me help.
You're mine!
Nothing
gets by me!
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! Light astral energy!
No further!
Purge malevolence! Arctic waterfall!
Ignite!
And more of this will...
Here I come!
Every time that you...
Abyss!
Enough!
Here's the evil!
With yours to be let
Freeze
free!
laser!
Can't get out of this!
Here I come!
Mega ray!
Shattering the...
Pieces!
Attack!
Malevolence! Arctic waterfall!
mine!
Annihilation! Freeze lancer! Dance in the wind! That's here!
Here comes the big one!
Radiant spear!
I'm nearly done for.
Lightning orb!
Denied!
Dance in the wind!
To be seen! Can't get out of this!
Eternal devastation! This one's all mine!
Raging storm! Radiant here!
Strike!
Captivity!
Burn in hell!
Confiscated!
Here I come! That's just her! Faria, can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Yes.
Not her.
Please, treat her.
But I can't promise when she wakes up.
It's supposed to be in here if we move her a little safer, don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You? Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnagan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria with and to ask what your it is. I hope so.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
Changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnagan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people ill.
Indeed, side blight is
You can't to hear, but those searching or trying to make a forgiveness, acceptance have sailed.
Forget.
Opposite. Remember, never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already passed, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
Shion. You have my did for
Vis.
I'm glad Faria
I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. Let's move. What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's a...
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was... It felt like everything was on the brink of... Like the whole was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
Everything we just...
At least weren't mine.
Me of thorns has been having.
Maybe astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
It can be a pretty vague healing.
The will of... right? Shit. No, with this thing...
Want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I needed for going to...
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. Well learned, Shion's don't have to be what... Want to make sure I go in...
Seem that way. The question is...
That is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
That vision we saw. It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something.
Oh, like type stuff?
That's your grand theory, wanted?
Most person's thoughts and deeds are of a place. And when some...
Think some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent. You might very well still have to be ready to face what happens. I'm to Shion and change that. Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
The people of Lennox known as
It's an exclusive club.
But how many strange?
It was a room, but a place on this scale? How did they keep it from falling into ruin? Whoever the Sovereign is, they can't manage the upkeep of this whole place themselves.
Did no one ever talk about it when you were growing up?
No, not that I can remember. Then again, Sovereigns and Forbidden Zones weren't exactly breakfast table conversations.
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority, grounds of the one true ruler who presides over all Renans. That is what we believed this place to be. No, what we were made to believe it was. But now, it is finally time to discover this area for so long. Work.
Can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danan astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Danan. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign!
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Cores. Here.
Lords, I would
think of those Enderlords and in Zoran Kadim.
Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They've written this.
And
fine. You want
one unique generation, given Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post. Anything to do. It's all locked. The crown new of her.
But even been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
Data rec.
Just file it. Or what?
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign. And Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
Are you just going to keep standing around or what?
Sorry, I'm just getting prepped over here.